Good evening, friends. This is Saraswati KB, Assistant Professor, Government First Aid College, Tiptur. This session discusses the plot overview of Riders to the Sea, written by John Millington Synge. Riders to the Sea is the story of Maurya, who has lost her husband and her sons to the sea. Her most recent loss has been her son Michael, whose body has not yet been recovered. Kathleen and Nora, her two daughters, are concerned and are filled with sorrow. They are afraid to face the finality of Michael's death. When the play opens, Maurya's last remaining son, Bartley, is preparing to undertake a journey to Connemara. The play is set in an island, Aran Island, west of Ireland. It opens on a kitchen inside a cottage filled with nets, oilskins, and cooking tools. Kathleen, a girl around 20 years old, is kneading dough and spinning thread when Nora, her younger sister, asks the whereabouts of their mother, Maurya. The setting indicates that this is a fisherman's cottage and that the division of labor is traditional. The woman will use the kitchen equipment and the man will use the fishing equipment on the sea. If you can imagine these women, in the middle is Maurya, the one who is standing is Kathleen, and the one sitting is Nora. The opening scene begins in the kitchen of their house, wherein Kathleen is kneading dough and spinning thread. Nora asks about Maurya. After Kathleen tells her that Maurya is laying down, Nora presents a bundle that the young priest has given her, containing a shirt and stocking from a drowned man in Donegal, who may be their brother Michael. Kathleen decides not to open the bundle, yet in case Maurya walks in. The priest had assured Nora that God would not leave Maurya with no son living after all of her prayers. The wind blows open the door, spurring Kathleen to ask if the priest would stop Bartley, their last living brother, from going on the sea in such a storm. This scene makes clear the danger that nature, and the sea in particular, presents to the men of the family, and it also shows that the sea is their livelihood. To counter their grief and their fear of the sea, the priest encourages the family to have faith that God will protect Bartley from harm. The care Nora takes to make sure Maurya does not immediately find out about the proof of her son's death suggests the toll that losing so many children has taken on her. Hearing Maurya stirring in the other room, Kathleen hides the bundle in the turf loft and throws turf down to feed the oven in which the bread is baking for Bartley's journey. Upon entering, Maurya declares that Bartley will not go on the sea in such a weather and that the young priest will surely stop him. Nora tells her that the priest will not stop him and that Bartley is determined to go. As it is clear Bartley's duty to go on the sea, Kathleen's job is to prepare food for his trip. Moria echoes Kathleen's prior question about whether the priest could prevent Bartley from living, illustrating the family's anxiety over losing another man in the family. See, this is the picture of Nora and Kathleen talking together. There is the spinning wheel, and they are involved in household chores. Bartley is determined to go to the sea. No one can stop him, not even the harsh weather. He has decided to go to the sea. Moria makes efforts to stop him from going on his journey, but they are in vain. She looks for excuses. She needs him. Michael's body may be swept ashore, but Bartley cannot postpone the journey simply because the weather is bad. Moria tells him, quote, "If it was 100 horses or 1,000 horses you had itself, what is the price of 1,000 horses against a sun where there is one sun only?" Unquote. A sad and quiet Bartley enters and quickly asks for the rope which Kathleen had hung up to prevent the pig from eating it. Moria attempts to keep Bartley from taking the rope, as they might need it if Michael's body washes up. She then reflects on the injustice of having paid so much for the white boards to make Michael's coffin, since there is no body to bury it, and Bartley dismisses the idea that there is still a chance of finding Michael's body. Bartley's death is foreshadowed heavily by the rope, which is associated with Michael's corpse and also resembles a noose. The white boards, which will be used to make a coffin, invoke the idea that the family is waiting for a corpse. When Bartley quietly prepares for the journey, wearing Michael's spare shirt, using the new rope as a halter for his horse, Moria becomes despondent. Her belief in God clashes with the sense of doom surrounding her. She tries to find comfort in the thought, quote, "The Almighty God won't leave her destitute with no son living." But when Bartley leaves the house, she knows, quote, "He is gone now. God spare us, and we will not see him again. He has gone now, and when the black night is falling, I will have no son left me in the world." Unquote. The direness of the family situation is evident in the hungry pig's attempt to eat the rope, as well as Maurya's worry about the expenses of the boards. As Bartley uses the rope to make a halter for his horse, he instructs Kathleen on taking care of certain chores once he is gone, though Moria is skeptical that Kathleen could do either. Moria questions how she and her daughters will live once Bartley is dead, and continues to try to prevent Bartley from going out into the sea. Kathleen firmly tells her it is the life of a young man to be going on the sea, and Bartley leaves. The worry of Moria is about the woman's future in the traditional household, the necessity of having a man in the family to do the dangerous work. Though Bartley can instruct Kathleen on how to do certain traditionally male jobs around the cottage, she will not be able to fill his role completely, since she cannot go on the sea. Moria cries out that she will have no son left her by nightfall, and Kathleen rebukes her for not giving Bartley a blessing and sending him out with an unlucky word behind him. Realizing that they have also forgotten to give Bartley his bread, Kathleen sends Moria to bring the bread to Bartley before he is gone, and while she is at it, to give him his blessing. Nora gives her Michael's old walking stick to steady her, and Moria sadly reflects on the irony of the young leaving things behind for the old. Kathleen's insistence on Moria's giving a blessing to Bartley shows that she still does hope for God's protection against the sea. She scolds her own elderly mother for her pessimism, which shows her superstitious belief that pessimism will give Bartley bad luck. Moria's use of the walking stick Michael left behind also demonstrates the irony of the old outliving the young. Okay, I have a picture for you, a draft of the plot. You can notice it how Moria lost her sons and husband to the sea. Kathleen and Nora learns about Michael's death and tries to calm down Moria and informs her about Michael's death. Bartley plans to go out in the sea to sell their horses. Kathleen and Nora tells Moria to give Bartley some food and blessings. Moria is informed about Michael's death and she is shocked. Moria returns worried and frightened. Okay, dear friends, this is the first section of the video wherein we observe how the family of Moria is in trouble because first of all she has lost all her children. Male members of the family are dead to the sea. She has even lost her husband, father-in-law and her 5 sons. She has no hope about Michael, who is drowned in the sea. She is expecting her dead body, that she is preparing the coffin for him. The only remaining son, Bartley, has decided to go to the sea, so she is worried. In this video, I will stop here, and in the next session, we will learn what happens to Bartley and how the suffering of Moria ends. Thank you for watching the video.